Hello everyone, welcome back to P.O.D Official. My name is Desmond Amwa, and in today's science lesson, we are going to talk about the classification of elements. So, elements can be classified in several ways, depending on several criteria, but today's lesson, we are going to look at classifying elements based on their physical state, their conductivity, and then their reactivity. So, with a physical state, under the physical state, our previous lesson, we talked about solid, liquid, and gas. So, elements can be classified into solid, liquid, and also gas. So we have solid elements, liquid elements, and gaseous elements. So let's look at the solid elements. So let's go to the first 20 elements in the periodic table. So we have, these are the elements: hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon, sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, argon, potassium, and calcium. So solid elements, we have lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen. Sorry, nitrogen is not solid. So we have lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, and sulfur, and also potassium and calcium. So these are the solid elements. So we can write them here: lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, potassium, and calcium. So these are the solid elements. Then we have the liquid elements. The liquid elements, element that exists as liquid. Note, in the first 20 elements, we don't have any elements that exist as liquid, but we have two elements, that is mercury. So mercury and bromine. That's the only liquid elements that we have on the periodic table. Then we have gaseous elements. So we have hydrogen, helium. We have gaseous elements. That's hydrogen, helium, neon, argon, fluorine, chlorine, oxygen, and nitrogen. So these are the gaseous elements. So we have hydrogen, we have helium, we have neon, we have argon, we have fluorine, we have chlorine, and then we have oxygen and nitrogen. So these are the gaseous elements. Alright, so the next thing that we are going to talk about is conductivity. Conductivity. So elements can be classified based on how they conduct electricity. So the conductivity talks about the ability of an element to allow the flow of electrons or the flow of heat energy. So in the conductivity, we will talk about metals, elements that are metals. We have metalloids, and then we have non-metals. So we have metals. So metals are good conductors of heat and electricity. So we are going to look at elements that can allow heat and electricity to pass through them. So the first one here, if you look at this place, we have group 1 here. All these group of elements are metals, except hydrogen. So we have lithium, we have sodium, we have beryllium, we have magnesium, we have aluminium. So that's metallic elements. And then we have metalloids. Metalloids are elements that are not bad conductors and also not good conductors. So they lie between bad conductors and also good conductors. So they are semiconductors. So let's look at the elements that are semiconductors or that are what? Metalloids. So we have silicon and then boron. So we have silicon and boron. So that's metalloids. The next one, let's look at non-metals. All the elements that are in group 8 and in group 7 are non-metals. So we have helium, neon, argon, fluorine, chlorine. We also have oxygen. We have hydrogen. We also have sulfur. We have chlorine. We also have nitrogen. We also have carbon. So these are non-metals. These are non-metals. The next one is reactivity. The reactivity is the ability of elements to react with other elements to form molecules or compounds. So we are going to look at elements that can react with other elements to form compounds. So we have the first one here. So reactivity. So first we have reactive metals. As natural, does not exist naturally as atoms, but they exist as what? Compounds. So let's look at reactive metals. We have lithium, sodium, potassium, magnesium, calcium, and we have zinc, and then iron. The next is reactive gases. So we have reactive gases. So under the reactive gases, these are the examples. So we have hydrogen, we have fluorine, we have nitrogen, and oxygen. So these are reactive gases. These gases can react with other gases to produce molecules or compounds. So that's reactive gases. Alright, so the next one is non-reactive elements. Non-reactive elements. So these elements are non-reactive and they cannot react with any element to form compounds. So we have example, we have silver and gold. We have silver and gold. So these metals are normally called precious metal because they are non-reactive. So they are used to make jewelries and other things. Alright, so the last one is non-reactive gases. So here we have helium, neon, and argon. So these gases does not react with any other gases to form compound. They exist as atoms. Alright, so they can also be called noble gases because they are non-reactive. So that's the end of this lesson. So let me go through. So I said elements can be classified based on their physical state, conductivity, reactivity. And then under the physical state, we have solid elements, we have liquid elements, and then we have gaseous elements. So we talked about them and we also talked about their examples. We also talked about conductivity, that's the ability of elements to be able to transfer heat and electricity. So we looked at metals, we looked at metallic elements, we looked at metalloids, and then we also look at non-metals. We also talk about reactivity, that's the ability of elements to react with other elements to form compounds. We talked about reactivity of elements. So under the reactivity, we said that the ability of elements to react with other elements to produce molecules or compounds. So that's all about today's lesson. Please, if you don't understand anything, please put your questions under the comment section and leave your suggestions. Make sure you like the video and also click on the notification bell to get notified whenever we post such video. Thank you.